Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Too Critical Podcast, episode 41. In this episode, we'll be talking to our longtime friend and collaborator, the king of all nerds, Mitch Hallock, and we'll also be joined by my heterosexual life friend, Rob Cuntface McGillicuddy. In this episode, we'll be talking about the new Disney Plus series, The Book of Boba Fett, and hear what fans are saying about it online. As of right now, it seems people are quite divided. I personally think the show is trash, and just another prime example of how Lucasfilm and Disney are serving up sanitized versions to a younger, more horrible generation of fans that enjoy multicolored space Vespas, not torturing people that try to kill you, and once again, unwanted stick fighting. All of that and more bullshit on this episode of the Too Critical Podcast. If you're still listening and watching, you most likely have nothing better to do with your life. And in the words of the late Carrie Fisher, let's do some fucking cocaine!
What is the point of all
I'm
this?
Ebert.
No one gives a shit about your fucking opinion. Fuck, are you kidding, Tom? You're addicted to this shit. I sat through the holiday special when it was on before you were even born. I watched those fucking Ewok movies. Like, circled the TV guide and counted the seconds until the premiere. They were shit. I watched those stupid droids and Ewoks cartoons. They were horribly animated. They were just the worst. Okay? Listen, shut up, Rob. I'm talking here. Look, this show is good. If it's not good enough for you, then too fucking bad. Why don't you go out and make the Book of Boba Fett?
Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you and you and you. I think I found my niche. I think the morning is the time that we should podcast. I mean, not necessarily Mitch. Look at that face.
What the fuck?
What's happening?
Sure. What's the matter, Rob? They couldn't pull you out of the freaking brothel in time? Is that what's going on?
I've been sitting here waiting.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Listen, you talk to the guy that runs the show. I'm just...
That's my old dog. People go, what is that obscene thing? I go, that's my dog.
It's Indy.
That was Indy. Look, see? It used to work. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, when you touch it, it moves, yeah.
Yeah, it moves. He's still here.
Touch it, it moves. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I think we're on to something. I think we're on to something with this idea you had. I think we should record you yelling out your window at people. I think that would be more entertaining than any of this.
Wow. Yeah, I got the worst fucking haircut. My wife said one of my neighbors died this week, so she's not going to.
Hey, real estate. What's opening up in Connecticut? Rob and I.
My wife told me last night. Here's the weird thing, and you'll understand. Which one of you is Italian?
Rob. I'm a little.
Okay, well that's fine.
Only the good half.
Only the good half. So the other day, Harley has to go out at like 5 a.m. because she does that shit. She cries. And I go down there to see what the hell's wrong with her. So I'm sitting on the couch debating to put the shoes on because it's about 2 below zero outside. And, cars go. You
realize you're writing the Springsteen song as you fucking speak, right?
So, yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm there. I'm putting the shoes on. I look up. And as a car will go by sometimes, you'll see a reflection of the headlight in the dining room or something. That's not a problem. It's what happens when you live on the streets. And a black shadow goes across the living room,
careful now,
where I am, across the kitchen, and up through the ceiling. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what cast a black shadow at 5 a.m. when the sun's not even up across the room? And I'm thinking, what the hell was that? No, it's probably just a demon.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you. So this is the other day. So last night we all went out. We had pizza. And my wife goes, oh, did you hear that the old widow 2 houses down passed away? I go, when? She goes, this week. I go, no. What time? Was it like early in the morning? She goes, what difference does it make? Because I'm thinking, yeah, all right.
You're right, Sharon.
I think I saw the specter of death go by.
I got a class 5 free floating phantasm waltzing through my dining room before the
That's what I'm saying. Fascinating.
Let's get after it. So, Mitch, we're going to talk about the book of Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
Rob, you had a viewing of all 3 episodes this morning? Or did you
Last
stop
night.
at 2? Last night?
Yep.
And what did you think?
Oh, wait a
I
second.
don't.
Has this Tupperware party started? Is this we're going now?
Yeah, we're going to go. You want a more
Yeah, but
official...
God forbid you do a count or something like this.
You can
Professional.
say whatever you want. Cock balls.
I already did my intro before I came on, so you
Oh,
guys are here.
I don't know. I just got here. Who am I? Just the guest. Go ahead. Do whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 41 of the Too Critical Podcast. From sunny Oakland, Connecticut, is Mitch Hallock, the king of all nerds, frequent collaborator and friend to some. And
Depends on
some
the day.
people around the Dairy Queen consider him, from the waist down, of course, Black Chewbacca. And, of course, my partner in crime, my life friend, Rob Cunface McGillicuddy. Rob dropping in with a very complicated shirt this morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Love to see the complicated shirt.
You're gonna love this, Mitch. I found this badass store that is my exact style.
Oh no.
When you
Was
go
it
by a
called
store,
Salvation Army.
I
No,
look
no,
by
no.
and I see a lot of guys and I go, those guys look a lot like me.
I bet they have Dan
And when
flashes
you
in
go by
Connecticut.
and see a store with people that look a lot like you, you go in. Yes,
It's
you
usually
do.
a
You
Bob's
go
big
in.
and tall. That's about it.
So
I picked up a bow tie at the Salvation Army. I must have dropped it, but it would complement that shirt you have on.
what
It
are you,
looked
Ken
like something that
Rosenthal?
Charles Nelson Riley would wear. So I bought it for $1. But I
Hey,
don't know where
Rob.
it went.
Hey, Mitch.
Oh, keep going. I found it. Keep going.
And there goes Mitch. Welcome to the Too Critical Podcast. Mitch just walked away again. That's how Charles Nelson Riley talked. He was
I got it.
he was
I
very
got it.
gay. Very gay.
Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There isn't.
No. Hey, look, at least he had company more than you people have. Look, this is it. I was like, what is this garment?
Oh, that's a complicated bow tie.
Right? And the guy goes, that's a bow tie.
From Wakanda.
Yep.
I'm like, what is this? So
Bow ties
anyway,
forever.
I
Put it around
picked
your
up.
head, Rambo John Jay. Dun,
I
dun,
used to know how to tie a bow tie. So, but anyway,
dun.
okay, so the show's on. We're all here now. This will all be edited out.
You think?
We're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Disney Plus's new Star Wars series. It's already on the 3rd episode. Tamara Morrison, Ming-Na Wei, a bunch of other people. Take it away, Rob.
So Tom hates it. I don't.
Oh
There you go in a
no!
nutshell.
No!
Now.
Oh God!
I'm not saying it's a masterpiece,
Yeah.
but
Tell me what parts of it are.
yeah, but I think you got to stop expecting to get like Empire Strikes Back from a Disney Plus series and just it's a good show. It's a regular good show.
Regular good show.
It
it is a
is.
regular
It's-
show.
This is a
Right.
regular good tie.
I'm
Right.
not saying that it's groundbreaking. It's not as good as The Mandalorian, in my opinion, but with how much Tom told me he hated it, I was really expecting. But again, maybe this is the whole expectations thing because I didn't hate the Eternals as much as I expected to, but that's because everyone told me it was garbage. So maybe because you told me Boba Fett was terrible and it was just good, I liked it more than I expected.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say you don't like when people tell you how they feel, and then you go the exact opposite. I'm just going on a limb here.
No, I don't know what there is to hate. Now, I also would argue if you told me you loved it, I would argue it's not amazing. Calm down. But what do you hate about the show?
Yeah, what do you hate about the show? I'm here to work with you to get in touch. We're gonna dive deep into this show.
Oh,
today.
great!
You're gonna see you might even get double-digit viewers on this one. because
I doubt it. Since
We're gonna find out. Let's psychoanalyze this. Let's get into it. I'll put my baseball cap on too.
All right,
Art Cliff Cafe in Martha's Vineyard.
man.
Look, I've got my
man
little
can promote.
my Charles Nelson
Your
Riley
ascot?
thing.
Can you
My
imagine what he'll be
ascot.
wearing a half hour from now? I mean, every minute it's just
Probably just sandals. It'll be a naked Mitch with sandals and a ghost in his living room.
So Tom, what do you hate about the Book of Boba Fett?
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It feels like the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me. It feels cheap, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, Boba Fett was, it's everybody's favorite character from Star Wars because he has a cool outfit and cool armor, and he didn't say anything. They should have kept it at just that. Giving this guy dialogue and like expanding on his background was a huge mistake. And now, so of course, we get all of these people who grow up watching these fucking bad guys. So we're just watching TV shows where all the villains are the leads.
But Boba Fett wasn't the villain. He was a mercenary. He was just a bounty hunter.
Gun for hire.
I said, this is a good character. People like the bad guys.
Boba Fett. Our other mysterious villain that doesn't have a lot to say is Boba Fett. Now, this is the character that was able to track down and capture Han Solo. So he, of course, is one of the great villains of the world of Star Wars.
There are hundreds of interviews where the creators of Boba Fett refer to him as the most notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy. He worked for the Empire. He's a bad guy. Now, people can say, well, he just got hired to do a job and blah, blah, blah. He's a bad guy. Over history, they have retconned him into this, like, conflicted character who, oh, great.
But why didn't you feel this way about the Mandalorian? Because he's a bounty hunter.
What do you mean, why did I... The Mandalorian, in the first episode, within the first minute, he kills 2 guys in a bar, grapple hooks a guy, and then cuts his body in half with a door.
Yeah, but you told me you love the Mandalorian. You had nothing against him for being a bad guy.
Well, he is a bad guy.
Right, but you like the show. But you don't like Boba Fett.
The show is done well. I'm not rooting for the Mandalorian when I watch the show. The show is fun to watch because of what's happening in it, but that's like when they do the episodes of Walking Dead with Negan, and they try to make you feel bad for him because they show his wife is dying and all that stuff. He's still a piece of shit to me when I watch the show. I'm not rooting for him. I'm just watching the show, right? This is a cycle of character betrayal that Hollywood continues to do. They continue to change the history of the characters and say, now this is the new narrative, now this is what we want people to believe, and you get the most notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy who won't torture people that tried to kill him, okay? Hires back Jabba the Hutt's goons to work for him under a promise that they'll be loyal to him, has all the people in Tatooine show up, talk back to him. Every single person talks back to him, takes shit off of everybody. He's very much like Elvis Presley to me. He's sitting on the throne, and
dead.
And the girl, Shand, she's essentially like the colonel, right?
Mm.
She's telling
KFC?
him, she's giving him the ideas, and then he's using them as his own. She's the muscle, and she's also the brains because he seems to be a dolt up until this point.
I disagree. He doesn't.
I was going to say, may I interject?
Sure.
Get him.
I have the floor, Senator.
It is yours.
What you're doing is trying to portray a character from your point of view, from your background, onto something, and it's an evolving character, son. It's because they've taken this character who is getting a second chance on life, who was basically dying inside the Sarlacc pit. He's reborn as he climbs through the muck and mud and pops out of that Sarlacc pit. And now he's got a second chance, and maybe he's recounting his ways and saying, boy, I've wasted my life. And then, lo and behold, he has a spiritual awakening because he meets these Tusken people who are basically part of the earth or part of the Tatooine soil. Right. And they put him on this whole vision quest thing, and he gets out and trippy, and he gets his little gaffy stick, and he sees these people who are notoriously savages. They're written off as the Wild West.
That's exactly right.
It's a whole Western thing. It's a whole motif for like a man called
Since the 70s, we've been taught to think that they're savages.
Exactly. It's a man called Horse. They're going to get him out there. They're going to put nipple rings on him and have Banthas pull him apart. It's all being played out as a Wild Western story. And he is basically Shane, the wicked gunfighter of the past who could kill you by looking at you and shoot a a bullet, knock a dime out of the sky a million miles away, but he doesn't want to be that guy anymore. He doesn't want to be set off. He's like Billy Jack, which was an old 70s thing. Guy who knew martial arts, could kick your ass. He was a Vietnam vet, but he's trying to be pacifistic. He's trying to find the way of the enlightened one. He doesn't want to resort to fisticuffs. So that's what Boba's doing. He tells you, I'm not going to rule by fear. I'm going to rule with respect. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to lower myself. I'm going to be up here. The rest of you people are all down here. That's the whole thing going on. And because of that, and because he's not out there beating people up and shooting people and doing all the stuff that you expect him to do, in your mind, this show is a failure when you haven't even seen the completed arc. He might flip out, which I think is going to happen at the very end, and come riding into town on a ranker with two guns blazing and just blow up everybody, leading a pack of Tusken Raiders as they attack the Pike people, whatever they're called, and just become the badass that we all know he is. That's what's going to happen. They're going to just push him too far, like Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven, who's trying to pretend he's a minister and a preacher and a man of God, but then he snaps and he goes all bullshit and he freaking kills everybody. And that's what's going to happen. And when that does happen, you'll suddenly go, wow, that was a great show. Done.
Yeah. So, well, it's episode 4 next week, so they better hurry up because they only have 7. Right? Everybody
Yeah,
gets
but
And they tell a story in a 2-hour movie. Come
yeah,
on.
and they're going to do a season 2. So, I mean, it might not be 100% resolved.
It could be
But-
the joke book of Boba Fett next, or the little black book of Boba Fett. You don't know. He has a dating service.
Just, again, to be clear, I don't love the show. I don't think it's garbage.
This is a cheap piece of garbage knockoff that does absolutely nothing to serve the overall bigger picture of the Star Wars universe.
I think it's
What
good.
show do you love? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like fornicate on top of these things? They're just entertainment, man.
No.
Go to a restaurant, you have a meal. Maybe the hamburger sucks at this place, but a hamburger over here is pretty good. At the end of the day, it's still a hamburger. Okay, it's just wasting time to the inevitable until you die. That's all. It's a distraction, so you don't start thinking about how the maggots are going to eat your flesh. That's all this shit is. Let's get down to nature. You're wondering about what's going to happen to your stuff. Is your wife going to remarry right away? Is she going to wait till your corpse gets cold? Is that what's going to happen? Is she going to sell off all the twins going to say, Daddy, who?
This is taking a weird turn. So
It's early in the morning. You got me at 9 in the morning. You should get me at 2. I went to bed at 2 o'clock last night.
I understand how symbolism works. I understand how character arcs work. I understand the hero's journey and all that bullshit. But you can't take a guy that has already been he's not transforming into Boba Fett. He's been Boba Fett since day one. Okay? He came onto the scene in Star Wars with all this baggage already. He doesn't need to do anything else. Now, if he's going to go from bad to good, which is what everybody wants, they want the villain to be more like the hero, which is why we end up with all these shows.
But he's not the villain.
I said, this is a good character. People like the bad guys.
He was never the villain.
He is the least villainous out of all of the villains on the show. That's what you're watching right now. He is not a good guy.
No, but he was never a villain to begin with.
I said, this is a good character. People like the bad guys.
Right, did you not like
He
it when...
worked for the Empire.
No, he worked for anybody that had money.
Yeah.
He was a mercenary. Han Solo, he's Han Solo without a mask.
Why didn't moisture evaporators hire him to do work in the off season then? And he's out there planting seeds or whatever the fuck they were doing.
Are we talking about who? Boba Fett?
Yeah.
He didn't have a cell
because he's a
phone. How are they
murderer.
gonna get a hold of him?
He kills for... Look, Mitch, do you know anybody that kills for money that's a good guy in real life?
Actually, I do. Oh, you mean in real life? Oh,
Send me the
we'll
Craigslist
we'll
link.
edit that out. We don't need the
Craigslist
FBI.
I mean, did you hate when Darth Vader turned good and saved Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi?
No, that was okay. It's his son.
Oh, it's okay there. It's okay for him. He killed all those younglings. He killed thousands of people, but because he saves one little whiny little bastard, all is forgiven. Boy, how Catholic of you.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? I suppose Hitler on his deathbed, before he puts the bullet in his round, could say, you know what, Jesus, I see the light. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I get to go to heaven and dance with the angels.
Well, that's
Fuck
the rule.
you,
That's the
man.
rule, isn't it? That's the rule, isn't it?
It is if you're going to believe in all that.
Right.
Hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go for it? This show's
I
over.
don't know.
with.
You
went beyond
you got a 61-year-old. You got a 61-year-old man that's fat, that's trying to squeeze into a Boba Fett costume.
55. Oh,
Takes his helmet off at every fucking turn, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
well, it's hot out, and he's getting paid to be there.
They do this whole Mandalorian thing, and they say, "Oh, you guys never take your helmets off? Well, wait till episode 3, and then we'll just keep taking. I take it off for drinks, for
Well,
snacks.
Katie
when I'm hot.
Sackhoff took hers off too. Those Mandalorians took theirs off.
He's not a Mandalorian. He's a clone.
It's out the window.
No, he's not legit.
It's out the window. And they take a guy who's a gunfighter. They're taking all of the weapons out at every fucking turn. He gets surrounded by those idiots with the shields, and he doesn't do a thing to get out of that situation. Everybody says, "Why didn't he use his jetpack?" Well, he has to have his helmet on to use his jetpack. Then his technology is shit. Am I right?
I'm sorry that I don't hate it as much as you do.
It's fucking terrible.
It's not terrible. It's good, not great.
He hired teenagers on multicolored scooters.
The
to be
Power
part of
Ranger
his
pack.
fucking gang.
Instead
Fuck
of killing them,
you.
Instead of killing them or arresting them, what did you want him to do?
A bad guy? What do I want a bad guy to do?
He's not a bad guy.
I know he's not a bad guy because they sent a black Chewbacca into his pod to fucking murder him, and instead of going for his guns, he starts stick fighting and knife fighting.
This isn't the first movie where somebody has gone after somebody or TV show, and when unsuccessful, the person shows mercy to them, and later on, it's probably going to come back to save his ass.
You do know who's working against him the whole time, right?
Who?
The Ming Na Wei character. Ming Na Wei. How do you think the Wookiee guy got into the place? How do you think that other assassin got in there? She's working
according
for the party. That's going to be the big reveal. She's the bad
everybody
guy.
on the internet, Black Chewbacca is like the ultimate killer. So why didn't he just sneak in? Yeah. I'm sure he's capable of just sneaking in, right?
No, she let him in.
Well, he certainly isn't any good at killing.
Well, he had that moped gang attack him. I mean, he was going. He had brass knuckles,
with chains, and shock thing. Yeah, nobody has any guns.
Nope.
Yeah, they just beanbag you. They mace you. Yeah, this is the new.
Well,
Star Wars.
It's a Disney show. Come on, kid.
Then don't do it.
They didn't have blood. They didn't have people getting blown away in Star Wars. It was all laser.
You want to
guns.
talk about all the beheadings and all the body parts that got
in
cut
the
off?
first Star Wars? The only one you had was Uncle Owen Aunt Beru died. That was about the only violent scene.
Obi-Wan Kenobi cut a guy's fucking arm off in a bar, and they showed it. Right?
Yeah,
Jaws was PG too, man, and I saw people get ripped to shreds.
Yeah,
it was in '75.
In the 70s,
we were
yes,
we had tougher stuff back then. We could handle this stuff.
It's okay. It's okay if you don't like it. I just don't know why you're mad at me for liking it.
I'm not mad at you for liking it.
Oh, you're testing.
Yes, he is. Oh yeah, you are.
Because it's terrible.
I disagree.
It's not terrible.
Did I get mad at you for saying it's terrible?
They took a great character.
Boba Fett Episode 3 is the most garbage piece of worthless television I have seen in a long time.
Disney Plus just released their poster for the most overrated character in Star Wars history, Boba Fett.
I need to challenge myself and make sure my opinions are based on fact and not just whatever is most comfortable and satisfying to believe. So after sitting down and doing some extensive research on the infamous Mandalorian, I think I found a conclusion that most of you will actually be satisfied with. So without further ado, let's dive into this. It's time to answer the age-old question, does Boba Fett suck?
We don't defend this. Just like bringing Darth Maul back after he was cut in half. Just like bringing Emperor Palpy back when he was thrown down into the dead of space after being electrocuted. Nothing matters. It's space magic, right?
And they totally fucking sanitized him. And this is what we get. We get a stick
According
fighting.
to you.
They did a whole episode about him making a stick.
Yeah.
It's a gaffy stick.
It's trash. That's trash.
A lot of people seem to like it. I don't know.
Really? Go on.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this now.
I bet I scrolled through 50 news outlets yesterday.
Yeah, that's a bunch of people looking for attention. That's all this internet shit is. Let me explain something to you, wannabe Johnny Carsons out there, Siskel and fucking Ebert here. What is the point of all this?
I'm Ebert.
What is the point of this? What is this? You all want to be famous? You want everybody to know your name? You want everyone to know your opinion? No one gives a shit about your fucking opinion. You know who cares about if Boba Fett's doing well? The stockholders at Walt Disney. They want to know if they're getting their money from all the subscriptions. They're not concerned. They charge you $50 for this piece of rubber I got over here now. They're not worried about your $7 a month if you don't like Boba Fett, because they know, like a junkie who gets a bad case of Mexican brown, if you don't overdose and die, you'll be back for another hit. You're not going anywhere, pal. You're not going to leave. As much as you hate this Boba Fett, you're going to watch it to the end. You're going to ride this sucker down. Who the fuck are you kidding, Tom? No. You're addicted to this shit. Okay? Listen, shut up, Rob. I'm talking here. Look, I sat through the holiday special when it was on before you were even born. I watched those fucking Ewok movies, like circled the TV guide and counted the seconds until the premiere. They were shit. I watched those stupid droids and Ewoks cartoons. They were horribly animated. They were just the worst, but it's all we had. So when you compare the Book of Boba Fett to the Caravan of Courage, it's like watching Lawrence of Arabia versus Jamie Farr doing a stage production at a local dinner theater of like Guys and Dolls. Okay, it's light years away. This show is good. If it's not good enough for you, then too fucking bad. Why don't you go out and make the Book of Boba Fett?
It's interesting. I'm not talented enough. It's interesting that you bring up Lawrence of Arabia while you're talking.
Yes,
about the
because they're using that too as a basis to say. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. See, now we're gonna have a three-way fight here because you just did something.
You like that shit?
You did something. You did something that I fucking hate, and that's when people that are older try to say, well, it's not as good. Look what we had. That's like my grandfather showing up and saying, you know, if I complain about my truck going, well, you should have seen the trucks we had in the 50s. Yeah, no shit. Technology improves. That's what happens.
Well, obviously,
I don't know why you were counting the seconds. You didn't have a fucking clock at the Hallock house? What's going on here? Clock at the Hallock house? What's going on here? Clock at the Hallock house? What's going on here?
We had digital clocks.
What's he complaining about? Power brakes? I don't understand his beef.
Rotors.
No, you're saying it's not a good Star Wars show, and I'm just saying compared to the other crap, this is not on the bottom. There is a lot worse than this. Rise of Skywalker.
Listen,
The Last Jedi.
It's obvious to me that we have three opinions here. Mitch likes it. I think it's pretty good, not great, and Tom hates it. But if for the three people that listen to this, if this doesn't prove that I don't ever fucking lie about what I like, I generally agree with Tom on 99% of things. We disagree about Iron Man 3. We disagree about the Book of Boba Fett. There's a few other in between. He thinks Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1. I disagree. So it's fine. This is like when it comes to the Batman stuff, when people are like, oh, you just say you hate it. No, I fucking don't. I've never once in my life claimed to like or hate something that it wasn't the truth. Now, I don't know. I feel like I let you down by liking it. And I do feel like you're angry at me for liking it.
He needs a hug.
We say it all the time, and you just said it. Like, people assume that because you hate one thing, you hate everything else, right?
I don't think you're faking this. I'll say that. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, I don't think this is shtick. I do think you are the harshest critic I know. I think I'm
the name of the show.
I'm probably up there, but you are more critical because you care more about certain things that I don't. Like, you cared that Fennec cocked that gun. I don't know that gun doesn't get cocked. How the fuck do we know?
Go online and scroll through all of the fucking pages with all of the Star Wars fans since 1977. All these people that are totally invested in this stuff, and that shit is important. And then tell yourself that if some dummy who's...
It's not important, though. If you hadn't mentioned it... If it wasn't
important, there wouldn't be fucking theme parks all over the world that celebrate the shit.
I'm saying that she cocked the gun. If you didn't mention that she cocked a gun that shoots lasers, I never would have even noticed it.
But there are other people that do. Lots of other people that there are whole groups of people that just dress up like the Mandalorians. They are complaining about where the dent is on his helmet.
Some people say cucumbers taste better pickled.
Should be more back there.
I agree. Hang on, I gotta take a call.
Oh, whatever.
Fuck them too.
All right. So, how do we put a bow on the book of Boba Fett here? I don't think we're going to agree, and that's okay. It's okay to have differing opinions.
Stop watching it then.
Did you see how excited people were and how many outlets were carrying the surprise cameo? How did they get that amazing cameo of Danny Trejo?
I thought Danny Trejo was.
He looks like he was on a green screen. He doesn't look like he was even there.
Danny Trejo's on a cameo.
Not for nothing though.
Backyard.
But not for nothing. Danny Trejo. I mean, the fact that Robert Rodriguez is directing it, I assume Danny Trejo was going to show up.
Yeah.
Rob, I'm surprised we didn't show up because
I thought Robert Rodriguez was that little guy, at the clerk at the mayor's office for a while. That little dude with the mustache. I want to watch a show about that guy. He's the most disinterested person in the galaxy.
The guy that plays like the secretary or
he just sits there with that hat.
From Veep.
No. What I'm saying is the other guy, the guy who is the mayor's valet or whatever.
Yeah.
He looks like Danny Putty.
Yeah. If I hear Diamo one more fucking time,
I don't like that guy.
See,
well, here's a thing for you. Okay, explain this to me. I thought the Twi'leks, like Bib Fortuna, looked like Bib Fortuna with the teeth and the pointy nails and the Wadawanga, the thing like that. Yet that other dude, the mayor, aide or assistant, whatever he is, the valet, he's apparently a Twi'lek, but he looks like just a dude wearing a weird hat.
So, okay, no. So, by your definition, they all have to look the same. That's your definition. That's what you're saying.
Jawas.
They all look the same to you?
Tusken Raiders.
Right?
They all, yeah.
Oakland Raiders.
Just people, bunch of people in brown robes, glowing eyes. That's all they are to you, right?
No, I noticed there's the red-eyed Jawas and the yellow-eyed Jawas in Tatooine.
Those are First Nation Tatooine people. I think.
That goes against the stuff there. That's not the thing there. All that detail and all that like minutia is all horse shit. You realize that, right? Because they spent like 30 years.
Is horse
I have a bookcase of books over there of all those novels, Expanded Universe. I was reading them as they came out.
Yeah.
And then I finally gave up because I started getting this inclination that none of this mattered because they were starting to conflict with each other and the story and the timelines weren't matching up. And I'm like, wait a second. I don't think anybody really gives a crap about all this. And sure enough, Disney buys it. And what do? Flushed it all down the toilet because they didn't want to pay any of those writers. And they said, all that's not canon now. Thanks for playing. We appreciate it. Sorry you wasted hours of your life on this stuff yelling about who made the blasters and where did the TIE fighters get constructed, because it doesn't matter. It's all gone out the window.
Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
I am happy that you two disagree on this because my favorite Mitch is Angry Mitch.
It makes us better lovers.
Well, but like when Angry Mitch gets going, like you get the impression that when his kids were like teenagers, like, hey, Dad, you want to go out for ice cream? He was like, why? We're all going to fucking die someday.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, they said ice cream. He's got his
I do think I go to dark places all day. The problem with working alone from home is you just have a lot of time to yourself. Walking that dog is like being in solitary confinement because she doesn't talk. And
his fortress of solitude is picking up dog shit.
I just go on and no one ever responds back, to the point where I understand why this like 90% of the world is medicated right now, because they just can't deal with the shit going on. Like the book of Boba Fett not being up to their standards and they have to go like pop a pill because they're freaking out about it. That's what life has come down to. It's a goddamn TV show. Okay, if Three's Company didn't meet my expectations this week, I'm not going to go put my head in the oven and kill myself. All right, it's just a TV show.
Don't you dare talk about John Ritter. God damn it!
Henry Blake die. I watched his helicopter crash.
You're starting to sound like a real Janet.
Got shot down in the sea of Japan.
Don't do it.
With no survivors. None of it.
I'm going to call Mr. Furley. He's going to be up here, and I'm going to call Larry, too. He's going to bring the twins from the hot tub, and I'll see you in the Regal Beagle in hell. God damn it.
Mr. Furley was wearing this when he died.
The original plan
on his rowing machine.
The original plan for today was we were going to surprise you, and I was going to podcast from my hot tub. But even being in the hot tub, it's too fucking cold out. Like just having
Oh my
head
God,
out
yeah.
it's -2 in Nashua, New Hampshire right now.
It is.
Fucking freezing.
You know what the funny thing is? It's always negative around you two motherfuckers because all you do is complain.
I'm not
everything.
complaining. Don't lump me in with Ebenezer Scrooge over here.
I have to lump you in. You're the other half of this show. It doesn't work if you agree. If you're
It's a theme with Mitch. He groups people together into groups.
So
I do. I do.
Well, this is where
yeah.
This is where Mitch is going to group me in with you. If you ask me, is this show up to the standard I hoped it was? My answer is no.
Right.
It's not. I think The Mandalorian was fantastic. I think this is a step down. This is a step down. It's a small step down, but it is a step down. I think that's where Tom and I are different. See, like, if Mandalorian was here, I was hoping Boba Fett was here. I think it's here. Tom thinks it's here.
You know what's going to be funny? When Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Chewbacca show up on the very last episode for a cameo, and they go, "Hey, Boba," and he goes, "All is forgiven," and they go out and have a beer at the local bar.
It'll happen.
Either that or Han shoots.
That's what's going to happen. No, Tom's head's going to explode.
Yeah.
He'll say, Boba Fett, where? And they'll say, I'm right here. Buy you a drink. And that's how it's going to end. And all the fans.
It makes sense because Luke showed up.
Yeah. And all they have already hinted that Han's done a cameo, or Harrison Ford did a cameo somewhere. He had time off. It's not
How have they not started a new Luke Skywalker series with Sebastian Stan yet? He is fucking.
He's too busy making that Pam Anderson movie. Pam Anderson.
Pan Anderson?
I think I can help with this Pam thing.
Go ahead.
There's a silent N.
Pan
Anderson.
Yeah.
Pan Anderson. I remember her airlines. They used to fly over the jets all the time. Making that damn noise. The Pan Am building. Pan Am.
All right. So we can.
By the way, have they found Sprinkles the cat yet? That was one of the funniest things you've done. I like that. You're a man of many talents too, but that one was pretty good. That little whole impersonation you did there is the guy trying to find Sprinkles. And what was that? West Shrewsbury didn't want to help you out. Fuck you, West Shrewsbury.
Fuck West Shrewsbury.
That's
West Reading? West
Reading. Yeah.
Oh yeah. North Reading, South Reading. Fuck West Reading.
Or East Reading. Yeah.
That was it. See, you are talented. There's a bigger question. Why isn't this show bigger than the Book of Boba Fett? There's more people hating the Book of Boba Fett than watching this right now.
So
I've been on the IndieCast for 14 years now. People don't even know that it exists. We're like, why do we bother for 14 years talking about Indiana Jones?
Yeah. Episode 300 plus.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm listening.
All right. So
God bless you.
So while we have Mitch, I think Boba Fett, I think we're better to steer away from it. I like the tone and the sentiment that's going on.
May I interject? While I do like the show, there are a lot of like inconsistencies that detract me from watching the show. And I do jump on Tom's bandwagon at some points and go, okay, why does he have to keep walking into town? His motorcycle gang couldn't give him a ride. Did he like use the jetpack to fly in? And just before they got there, goes, let me walk in and it'll look badass if I do that.
Did he have his helmet on? Because he can't fly without his helmet on.
Okay, and the other thing is, well, you don't want the bugs hitting you in the face. I get that.
You're
Two,
right.
where the hell are their trees?
FAA approved.
Where are their trees on Tatooine is beyond me.
Trees are expensive. Figure it out. That's why they're walking down the same fucking set for 3 episodes.
No, that was Loki. So the other thing is, Boba Fett. Does he not know about what's happened in the galaxy? Like, did he not watch the local CNN like news update? Like, what do you mean the Empire's gone? What do you mean Darth Vader's dead? He owed me money.
It would take too long for them to.
I'm more interested in that stuff. Like, I would be like,
that should be a walk and talk.
And the other big deal is, who's making all that food at Jabba the Hutt's place? I mean, they had like a banquet hall like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, is it that robot? Is 8D8 doing it? Is that who's making all that food?
Yeah. It's it's just little drips of water and they pops up in the machine like Back to the Future.
Like
and then they go, well, the Rancor, they keep using that bit. They keep dumping people into the empty pit. I'm like, it was funny the first time. But when they
it was good the first time.
It was like
it was effective.
It was
effective.
But the other thing is, besides that, Boba Fett, one, no one's addressed the fact that he's a little chunky and old looking for a guy who's about to be like, I'm saying 40, because I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Because look at this.
Skywalker's supposed to be.
Wait.
Right?
Boba Fett was born, and Obi-Wan Kenobi saw him. He was about 9 or 10 years old then.
Yep.
So then you got your 3-year gap for the Clone Wars. Okay, so now he's about 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed him on the cartoon, the animated. He got arrested. He was in a little prison cell, whatever. So then Luke is born at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So that's 18, 19 years.
Okay.
So now Boba Fett's about what? 20,
43?
No,
44?
13 plus 20. He's about 33.
That's it?
No, that's how old he would be at Star Wars. So then you got Empire, then you got Jedi. So you figure he's about 35-ish or so when he falls into the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
He's in the Sarlacc for what? A week, a month, a year? We don't know.
No. It would have to be less than a week for him to be inside that thing.
Okay. Look, we don't know how that stormtrooper got there, but I'm going to write that stormtrooper up as one of the patrol looking for the droids who accidentally fell into the Sarlacc pit, not knowing what it was, because who would know? And that's why he's slowly decaying there. But I would have had
oxygen is still working.
Because it's not been used. It's just sitting there. Like if I have a fire extinguisher and I don't use it for years, it's still working. I can give it that.
If you go scuba diving and leave the tank open, is that air still going to be
again?
in there?
I'm not a part of the Imperial Service. I don't know how their shit works. Again, I'm gonna say
make a call.
Oh, whatever. I'll talk to Rob because he's not interested.
Engineering.
So anyway, then I was thinking,
I'm on hold.
What his flesh be rotted out? That should have been like gooey. You know what I mean? Like when they find a dead body and it's all gooed, they should have had that white armor all covered with muck. That would have been
gross.
Cool.
Too gross.
Or the guy was alive somehow, like still screaming, "Kill me" or something. That would have been like an alien.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, that would have been kind of eerie. Like, imagine all these people screaming and yelling inside the Sarlacc as there's like half chewed bodies and the Sarlacc keeps them alive somehow, and they're like, that would have been a nightmare. That would have been cool. And then you see Boba climbing over dead bodies like the freaking Walking Dead, trying to get himself out, burning himself. Great, but it didn't happen. But that's okay. My brain, it did.
No.
So he gets out.
He needed to go on walk.
He's in the white suit. I'm going to say that the digestive enzyme is what turned his suit white.
Uh-huh.
And that's the whole rebirth thing. Like when you get baptized and you go in the water, you wear the white clothes, your new, virgin material. Yes. I get it. I'm not stupid. I went to Catholic school. I get it.
Right.
So it does explain why he put on like 30 or 40 pounds, which is fine. I don't know. Maybe it's bloated.
Not, because if they hand you a show, you get in the fucking gym like everybody else.
You would think Tamara Morrison, come on, stop drinking the beer at the Foster Lagers and let's go out there. And then he's old. There's something about his face. He's got 50, 60-year-old man. That Tatooine son's a fake
teeth.
They hired an older actor.
I don't know. So I get it. So he's there. But how old is he supposed to be? Like 39, 40 years old? He looks like he's having trouble getting up. When that Wookiee threw that man in his jockey shorts out of the back-to-tank thing the other day, I was like, wow. They look like me.
Very, very considerate how they were editing that.
They were lighting that really good.
Extremely considerate.
He's like Bubba Feet, not Boba Fett. He's like, yo, man, this should be like the down south version of him. No offense to anybody down south. I'm sure you're all eating your
New York
fake chicken McNuggets and stuff. Way to go, Kentucky.
Right, mm-hmm.
Right on. Rise up. So whatever, it looks bad. But I still watch the show every week. I still know Ming-Na Wen is going to betray him.
It's a consumable.
I still don't like the slowest car chase in the history of car chases since the
Those bikes were so fucking slow.
I thought there was something wrong with my down.
Boba Fett is gay.
Nothing is that shiny or vibrant on Tatooine. Nothing. And these kids are supposed to be jobless, poor, and have to steal water to survive. Yet they have hover bikes that look extremely expensive and cybernetic enhancements which also probably cost a pretty penny. It makes no sense. Furthermore, that had to be the least intense, slowest chase scene I have ever seen. It looked so cheap and silly, and it simply wasn't engaging in the slightest.
I called up Ed in Australia. I said, "Did you watch?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Was your video like jittery, like skipping?"
Ed's video was upside down.
It goes backwards.
But it was like bit streaming, and I'm like, he goes, "No, that's how it was. It was filmed that way." And I was like, "Why are they going like this?" And that car, there's no other streets. There's no other cars on the streets of Mos Espa. Nobody. A lot of fruit stands. For a place that has no water, they somehow can grow fruit everywhere because it's
no trees. Where's that fruit growing?
I have no idea, but he was crashing into it. And then you have the slowest droids in the world. Yeah. I thought the droid was going to keep getting spun around. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, if I had a 6-year-old little kid watching it, I bet the kid would be rolling on the ground laughing.
Yeah.
He'd be
It's
so. Then
the
I'm
Jar
thinking,
Jar
well, maybe
Binks moment.
this is made for children. Why am I getting upset? Because the 80s rock band is driving around on Vespas. I get it. Most Vespa. I get it. Most Vespas. Why they have the Power Ranger colors? Because they're going to sell toys. That's why they're like pink, yellow, red, blue. I get it.
There's one for everybody.
But Ed said he hadn't seen it yet, though, because he was busy protesting Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, he really cares about tennis down there. Now, that's a name that should be on Boba Fett, because that sounds like something from the Outer Rim.
Rob was talking about this the other day, about all like the names in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, how is Luke the only normal name? And now, like, I'm not complaining.
Han, and Owen and Ben.
Owen and Ben. I'll give you Owen and Ben. But, like, it's all, like, Anakin, Han, Boba, Jango, Lando, and then Luke.
Monopoly.
And then Luke. What's the Mandalorian? Din Djarin?
I can't pronounce his name. Something. He's a ninja. Yeah.
Now, Tom doesn't like the Black Wookiee's name, but I will say this. I'm okay with it because that's what it was in the comics.
It was in the comics, yeah.
That's fine. That's
another thing, too. Blazing dual sons of Tatooine. You could keep him. You could throw him in the gladiator pits. Okay. He looks over. Don't work for Scumhole, which is a shithole.
He just starts running.
He just running. I was freaking out. I go, where the hell is he going? No, he didn't run. He
Tom, you need to edit that so when he says don't work for Scum anymore, and then voice over Forrest Gump. And from that day on, I was running, and then he just runs away.
Yeah, that would be great. But the thing is, I'm like, where is he going? Is he got like a speeder parked off to the side? He doesn't even run fast. He kind of saunters away. I'm like, he goes, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go hang out over and get a Ronto burger. Like whatever, that was I was more distracted by those little. And I asked Ed, here's what I'm gonna. Ed teaches theater and acting and all that in Australia, and I was complaining about the show, and I said, why did the actor do this and why did the actor do this? And Ed says, it's not the actor's fault, it's the director's fault because that's the direction he's giving the actors on the set. And I'm like,
he said run that way.
It was just like, I don't necessarily think it's always all the director goes, no, it is the director's fault. Look at the prequels. You got Liam Neeson, you got like really good actors there, and yet they come across as wooden. It's because the direction they're not given proper direction by Lucas. I'm like, well, I guess.
And the story is trash. It starts with
there's that too. Yeah. There's only so much excitement you can get. So you go edit this down into 20 minutes of actual quality work, and we're good. Maybe you'll get 50 views. You will get views. I'll put it on the Terrificon page, and the numbers will go way up.
Okay, we'll see.
You'll monetize this shit. You guys could retire. You'll be making all that YouTube money. Like Mitch and Ed. Like we make so much money on our show every 2 weeks.
That's right. No money to be made.
Thousands of listeners on IndieCast can't even get 300 subscribers. No, we got 450 subscribers. So
it's a shame.
People are fickle. That's all.
That's true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for episode 41 of the Two Critical Podcasts. Thank you to our special guest, Mitch Hallock, King of the Nerds, and his Batmobile tumbler, which he finally was given by his lovely wife. Still not a remote control tumbler, but that's okay. We do what we can. And as always, I'm Thomas, and that's Rob, and this is the Two Critical Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Follow us online for more shenanigans. And hit that like button. And if you see your nana, tell her she owes me money. Thanks, everybody. Good night. We sincerely hope you enjoy the program. Please check us out where all podcasts are sold, and check out our YouTube channel as well. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. If you don't like the show, go fuck yourself.
Ra-da-da-da-doo.